Hey everyone. Happy Monday again. I'm all crooked, I just noticed. But anyway, how's your weekend been? I know there was a lot of music on this weekend. The Elmore VNS bowl looked amazing with Travis Collins. Oh, Travis Collins. No, it didn't. It had Travis Sinclair. It had Travis and Jake Sinclair and Liam Brew that we saw, and a whole heap of others. So it looked fantastic, and Darren was there doing some lives for you. I hope you enjoyed them because I know I did. But I was sitting on a warm, comfy couch while everyone there was freezing cold. Well, actually, I don't know. It looked cold, but it probably wasn't that bad with the alcohol. So tell us what you saw on the weekend, if you saw any other shows. Tonight we've got Peter Dawson joining us. He's actually on his wife's phone, so it says Jenny Dawson, but that's because we've had some issues trying to get it up and running. Sometimes we run into these things, but that's the part of the being live that makes it fun and real. So anyway, we might welcome him into the room and have a bit of a chat. Actually, before I do, I should mention we've got a lot of shows on this week. So we've got Natalie Pearson coming up and Rachel D as well. So we've got a week full of shows. So if you're free any evenings, jump on and have a look. It should give you a notice if we are live, but if not, jump on because we have got a lot extras coming this week, and then I think we've got some lives that we'll be going to on the weekend as well. So keep an eye out for those. We might welcome Peter into the room. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining.
G'day, Danny. How you doing?
I'm good. We've got your wife's name on the screen. I just noticed it when it was down there.
That's me, yeah. It was the only way I couldn't make it access on the phone, Danny, so
that's all right. We couldn't get it working, but we got
it anyway. That's what we do.
We found a way around it. So we've got a few people popping into the room at the moment. We've got Joe and Shane and Trent and Bill all popping into the room. So there's a few people jumping on as we are talking. Karen in. So
even though technology can be a pain, it helps us join up. It's good for keeping in contact.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. We get to see music all around. Hi, Shazza. How you going? Shazza's popped in to say hi. Anyway, I was just talking about music and things that people saw over the weekend. Did you go to any live shows on the weekend?
You know, I did, Danny. I went to the Milton show, and I go to the Milton show every year. I've been going down there for about 4 years to do the Milton show poetry. So they have a poets festival down at Milton, and I go and do live music for them in between the poetry break. So I was the live music at the Milton show this weekend. I caught up with Matt Scullion, my old mate Colin DeFries, and Mark Bushy Thompson this weekend. So
oh wow, we had a fantastic weekend.
It's been really good.
You must be tired. It's a long weekend. So I nearly forgot that it was Monday when I woke up this morning. I kept thinking the show's tomorrow, but it's a long weekend. So we're all
enjoy it. That's the point. It's a beautiful afternoon here. We've had a great day, a little bit of rain on the horizon, but you know, there's a lot of good things on the horizon. I think that's the beauty of country music, and whatever our genre of it is, we put in for our competitions, or we get booked in at our gigs or our festivals, and I think it's just really great that we get to catch up sometimes, you know.
Absolutely. It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. Actually, it was I was just telling a friend before we started talking on the phone how I ran into you and the things that we do, but Tamworth and stopped at some traffic lights because we put up to an awful accident, but out of that we sorted the problem, and then I met you and some other artists sitting at the traffic lights.
Incredible night, most incredible night. I got to sing at People's Choice Award. That was a great privilege, and I got to give an award away, which was great too. Della Harris won an award, so
you did. It was a wonderful night.
Great musos in Australia.
Oh, we certainly do. Yeah. We can't. You don't need to go far to get a good show. Anywhere in the country, you'll find something. Robert has popped in and said, "Evening."
And live music still, I reckon, the best thing.
We're just so lucky here. But anyways, let's talk a bit about your music. So we were talking earlier, and your first EP was in 2015.
2015, I went. Yeah, sorry.
Tell us about that. Tell us what made you start recording music and get into it.
Danny, I got a big story. I grew up in Tamworth as a kid, and I was at the very first country music as a kid. I remember it, and we had a family that was musical, and we were always encouraged to do something musical and sing and write songs. Mum did that to us, and I love her for that. And we used to, music was important, and as a family, we would just make sure that we had instruments in the house. That was the first thing, and I think for kids, they need to have an instrument in their hand, and they need to be encouraged to play it. So I've been
Absolutely.
giving away guitars and giving away musical instruments all my life, and trying to encourage kids. And
Wow.
I've spent 30 years of my life fixing cars in the motor trade as a windscreen fitter. And about 15 years ago, I had a workplace accident that took me out of the trade, and I picked up the guitar and started writing songs again. And that's where it all started again. And about 10 years ago, I sang my first song in Tamworth about 10 years ago. And 2015, I recorded with Paris McLeod, a great producer, my first EP called That's What Country Boys Do. And you got to get a copy. I'll make sure you get one. But
Absolutely.
that's not a problem. But it's been a great little album. I think I've gone on to sell over 3,000 copies of that album, something like
Really?
that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's
It's a
been
great
an
album.
incredible little thing. It's a great first kick on, when you get an album that really works. And I
Yeah.
keep going to festivals. I always try to show up at festivals, and I'm again this year. I'm booked at quite a few. I've got just did Milton Show. A couple of weeks I've got Terrera Country Music Festival here at Nowra, and then we head off on the 5th of May with a tag-along tour to Music in the Mulga out at Wandilla
Excellent.
Station at Eulo.
Yes.
I get a bit of a break after that. I think I'll go to Hats Off Country Music in Tamworth.
Yep.
And then September starts the year. I'm hoping I'll be at Slim Dusty Memorial Show this year. Might just drop in. It's changed. Slim Dusty Show, we've always, for the last probably 5 years, done a little show out at Slim's old house at Nulla
Yes.
at the old
Yes.
homestead. And I've been out there with my mate Bushy Thompson, and we take busloads of tourists out there, usually when the festival's on. But this year it seems like they've had a change, and we haven't had a phone call on it. But
Okay.
we still love going out and singing on Slim's veranda, and it's magic
Yeah.
out there. So I encourage everyone to drop through Kempsey anyway and get a look at where
Absolutely.
Slim grew up. And yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely. You can always
so
drop into the Slim Dusty Centre, and that while you're there, have a little look around.
magic. It's absolutely magic. Yeah, there's some great memorabilia and old purples in the shed there, and yeah, it's a great time. And the girls
Absolutely.
there make good coffee if you want a coffee or good feed. So yeah, it's
Excellent.
great.
What more
Yeah,
could you want? Good music, good memories, and good
that's
food.
it.
Good
You look at
drinks.
all the golden guitars. He's got a wall of golden guitars when you
Oh,
go
it's
and see what Slim's got. Yeah, but
incredible.
so as a kid, I grew up in Tamworth, and I met Slim Dusty 4 times in my life, and I've had a few privileges. You can see this shirt I got on. It's the Lights on the Hill.
Yes.
We do that for the truck drivers at Gatton every year. That's
Yep.
sponsored by Slim Dusty, and I I love doing a bit of Slim Dusty stuff. So that's my passion. I met him 4 times, and he encouraged me to keep writing songs. And
Absolutely.
I encourage other people to do it too, Danny. One of us is going to get a great song somewhere.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I'm the same as you. I've grown up on Slim. Slim is I love every artist that I come across, but if I had to choose, of course, Slim's always going to beat everybody because he is the king.
He's
100%.
incredible.
He is.
He's
We're lucky.
incredible. He sang a lot of other people's songs, and credit
Yeah.
goes to the writer of the song who wrote the song. But Slim showed us all something. He took his music on the road, and he said, "Look, never give up. You
Yeah.
can go to a pub, or you can find a country show, or join the local show. You can join in somewhere, and you can get a gig, and somewhere along the line you can keep on going with your music. And maybe a lot of people jump into music thinking they're going to make big dollars, but I don't know. That's a possibility too, but reality is you just got to have a passion for it and keep going.
That's right.
So
It's
Yeah.
a love game, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It'd be great if you could make some money, and certainly if you can, do it, but a lot
that's
of
it.
artists are out there doing it for the love of it, and we love that they
Write a
are.
good song. Write a good song. If you can, and I hope that's what's reflected. Like I've just put my new album out. You said The Reason, and I've got a
Yes.
copy here.
Oh, you've got a copy there? Excellent.
That's my copy, everybody. I don't know which way the camera works. There you go.
Now we
The
can
Reason.
see. I've got a copy right here too.
Okay, so
Great
very
album.
proud of this. This is with a different producer. I went with Lindsay Waddington, and a lot of people might know Watto. He's a great bloke, and he encouraged me to put a new album together, and got Huey Curtis playing violin on it and mandolin. Got Laurie Minson playing harmonica and pedal steel, and Michelle Rose on pedal steel as well. And so it's incredible to have great artists who represent you in your work. You know, that's how I feel about it, Danny. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
where can people get your albums? Can they still get your EP?
You can still get any of them. Easiest way is to contact me on Facebook.
Okay,
Just contact
excellent.
me on Facebook, and we'll become mates. Whatever, we'll catch up one day. You know, and if you want it signed, just say sign it. If you don't want it signed, some people don't want them signed. I find it's really, it's up to individual what they want.
Yeah,
And I do a bit of a package with the three of them. So plus the
excellent.
postage anywhere in Australia. So it's only what Australia Post charge extra.
Yeah,
But yeah, look, please get in contact with me, because I'm like all other musos. If you like my work, I need to get copies to you. So please support us. It's what we do as independent
absolutely.
artists. So yeah.
I think that's great. So anyone can just send you a message on Facebook, or even send, if they can't find you on Facebook, send us a message here, and we'll forward your
That'd be
information
great.
on.
Just forward it through, and all I need is their address, and I'll give them my bank details. They can direct some money into a bank account if that's how it's going to go. And
Easy.
seems like an easy way if that works. And then I'll post it out, send them a
Yep.
photo of it getting posted, and Bob's your uncle. It'll all be happening.
Yep.
So
I'm sure
yeah.
even they can probably get them at one of the gigs that you're doing nearby as well.
Well, if that's a possibility. So in May we head out to Music in the Mulga, and Music in the Mulga is a great big cattle station out Western Queensland. And Carmel Morant and her husband David put on a country music show every year, just so they can have a holiday. They bring their friends out and have a holiday in their own backyard, and it works. And so some of the artists this year is Simply Bush will be there.
Yep.
I know for a fact that Graham Howe's coming this year, Andy Abra, Adam Kilpatrick. The headline act is the Wolf Brothers this year.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
big night on Saturday night. And yeah, we're going to run a little tag along from Jervis Bay and take as many people as we can from where I live out there, because it's about 1,500 kilometres. So it's a
Wow.
drive. Yeah,
Wow.
we take a few days. And we do 3 shows on the way out. We do one at the Bollen Hotel, which will be the 8th, Friday the 8th of May. And then I do that with Bobby Housen, who's a good mate of mine.
Yes.
And then we actually drive 100 kilometres back to St George, and we do 2 shows in St George. We do one at the Cobb & Co Hotel and one at River Sands Winery for Mother's Day lunch on Sunday, Sunday the 10th. So, and anybody that's coming through that wants to join us from any of the stops, they can join up anywhere along our tag along. We
Perfect.
don't charge from them to come out. We just want to get them out there safely. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I think that is a fantastic idea. What a great thing.
They
And
buy their own
music on
ticket
the
to the event. And it's a great event. You got a great show out there for 4 days, and come and enjoy the festival at Music in the Mulga. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that they have a Facebook page, so you can follow them on the Facebook page as well. Jump over, but we've shared a few things from there, so keep an eye out on their page and our page, and we'll let you know as the updates are coming through for that.
Yeah, keep it in mind, because the 5th of May is rolling around soon, and if you can make it out to Music in the Mulga, it's a great show you're going to love. And Danny, on that album, I've got a song called Music in the Mulga.
Yes,
I don't know if you've noticed that, but I mean, Music in the Mulga is a story I wrote about that event the first time I went out there. And I actually wrote half the song the first time I went there, and I couldn't quite finish the story. So the second year I went back out there, I got back into it and I wrote it again, and I wrote the second half of the story. So it took me 2 trips to go out there to write that little story about music in the Mulga. Yeah,
2 trips for a song.
yeah,
Oh, that's the way to get songwriting, though. You know, the more
that's it.
festivals, the more songs we're gonna get.
Yeah, and if you get
Now,
booked somewhere, show up. Make sure you show up. They're great festivals, and the demographics of people. You know, a lot of times there's older people at festivals, and we absolutely love them because they've been the true believers who've kept it alive, and you know we're passing it on now to a younger generation. And if we can keep our traditional side of country music alive, I'm a true believer. Put it that way.
yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
think there's a place in country music for all all the types that we have and all the hats that we wear.
exactly.
But it is so great
Yeah,
to see some of the traditional stuff is still going, and some of the, you know, because that is what started it for everyone. So
I
it's great to see.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, tell
Well,
us,
it's
what do
been
you prefer to do? Would you? Sorry, you cut out.
say that again, Danny. I didn't quite catch that.
Sorry, tell us, what would you prefer to do? Would you prefer to be on the stage singing or writing those songs as you are traveling around?
You know, I've never been frightened of getting up on stage. I've never have. I've done it as a kid and just thrown into it, and I loved it. But the writing of the song is sometimes a difficult thing for me because I'm actually dyslexic. So to
Okay.
actually pick up pen and paper and write anything is like, seriously. Yeah. So I cheat a bit. I get my voice recorder on my mobile phone, and
Perfect.
I walk around all day singing a little song in my head until I've actually got something that makes a bit of sense, and I get it that way. But I can sit with a pen and paper if I dedicate myself to it. So,
Yes.
um, but then
And
I will always write it out. I will always write the song out and go through it and go through it and go through it. So
yeah, perfect. So you've found ways around, and that's the fantastic part about music again.
never give up. Never give up. No,
Never give
that's
up.
it. Yeah.
So your family have always come from music. So I guess being from Tamworth and having that background, was there ever a question it was always going to be country music for you?
Oh, I it's a funny question because my brother was right into rock and roll and the Angels and Meatloaf, and but I always loved country music. I never forget Reg Poole's radio songs, and you know, they were brilliant
Yeah.
album as a kid. I used to just love radio, you know. So
Yeah.
horses. If you got anything to do with a horse, you know, let me in on it because I've grown up with horses and grew up on a property, and I've had plenty of dogs, and you know, done a lot of stuff that crazy country boys do. So it's come out of me in that way. I haven't
Yeah.
gone trying to write a rock song. I could probably write a rock song, but
It's not
it's
you.
not what I want to do. No,
It's not what makes you you.
no, doesn't tick me, doesn't make me tick. So yeah, but
Absolutely.
you know, country music is a very important thing. You know, it's our choice to live where we live, whether it's the coast or the bush. But music from the heartland of Australia or from the bush is where Australia come from. You know, we built
Yeah,
our houses from the bush. We made our boats from the bush. We made our cities from the bush, and we carved it up. And the bush has given us so much, and it still sings to us. We walk out
absolutely.
into the right kind of country, and it sings itself to us. It tells us about itself, and if we can echo the sound that we hear in our life or whatever it is that takes us forward. We echo that. We got a song. It's there. We just got to take it. It's already in
Yeah,
the bush.
it's
I
already,
find it
yeah,
that that's where I find my song.
that
People
is
say, "Where do
fantastic.
you write songs, Pete?" And I say, "See the mountains right over the back over there." I said, "There's a dirt track that runs up there." I said, "If you find me up there, I'll be writing songs." So
That's where you be.
yeah,
Are you writing now for your next album?
I'm having a little album. Not a. I'm not really rushing into the next album. I'm going to have a little bit of a time to think about the next album. But yeah, I am writing. I'm writing.
Yeah.
I've got a few things on the go right now, and they're too fresh, but they're good, powerful stories. And I think
Okay.
that's what I like. I'm getting attacked by mozzies out here, but
Oh,
I think that's what I like is the powerful story. You know, like something that's emotional. That's true. You know, you'll hear songs in there that are emotional. Salty and Fresh is a song of an emotional love affair between the river and the ocean. And where
Yep.
the river and the ocean meet, there's the estuary, and the estuaries of, you know, a very powerful breeding ground of all aquatic life. And so when I wrote the song about Salty and Fresh, it's about a boy from the bush, like a fresh river, and a woman or a girl from the beach, and, you know, like a salty ocean. But where the two of them combine, right there is the most incredible, you know, incredible combination of fresh and salt comes together. So that's the way I think when it comes to writing
Yeah.
songs. I look at nature and I try and
Yes.
apply it maybe in a way that I can present it as a song.
And get your story and your meaning across to people, which is fantastic.
Yeah, try to be
Absolutely.
different. You know, like I think there's two or three things that people in life want. We want something that's brand new.
Yes.
If there's something new, we want to go and buy it. We will buy something that's the same as, but different. If it's presented differently, we'll buy it. You know, you might go buy a Whopper burger, but it's Whopper with bacon or something. So you
We'll
know what
have
I'm
it.
saying?
Yep.
So you buy it and you just go, well, it's what I want, but it's a little different, you know. So and so it's the same with music. We hear it, we like it. If it doesn't turn us on, it turns us off. And if we like it, we run with that.
Absolutely.
I think we
That's
run with it.
right.
We go,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's reaching those people, isn't it? And
yeah.
drawing them in to hear something. And do you find that you write these songs with these stories and things in mind? Do you find people walk away with different interpretations of your songs and things that you have written?
I
Do you
hope
find
so.
it interesting to see what people read?
I actually hope so. I think that I've seen a few of the comments that people write. And you know, I've had a lot of people that like my work, and I've got a friend of mine, Margaret Maynard. She put a comment up one day. She said, "I'd like to get inside your head, Smokey." And I go, I don't know what you'd want to find in there, but there is a way of telling a story without giving too much away. You know, the simpleness of, say, let's just pick on the song I wrote, "Music in the Mulga." I wrote that song. I took 2 trips out there to write that song, but that song was never really about me. So I put it straight away in the form of a woman, and she was
Yeah.
driving from the city. And so that takes the ownership off yourself just a bit, you know. So it gives you the freedom then to sing that song in a different way. And you have to sometimes think about that. Am I just saying me in a song, or am I giving the song to other people to listen to
Yeah.
and let them interpret the way they want? And if
Absolutely.
you want to really see what that song was all about, take a drive to Wandilla Station and come out and spend some time in the red dirt and, you know, go to Music in the Mog, because that's the truth of it, you know. There's another song on that album that's called The Bees in the Camphor Laurel Tree. Now, that song, I wrote that song at the Clarence Valley Country Music Muster in Grafton, and it was their second muster. I just went up there, to walk up at the Clarence Valley, and Wendy Gordon said to me, "Smokey, you can stay down there in the back paddock there." She said, "There's a tree and a gate down there." She said, "Go camp down there, you'll be right." So I was very happy. I went down the back and camped, and the next morning I was making a cup of coffee on my little little coffee maker, and sitting near a big camphor laurel tree, and the bees were flying in and out of the tree. And I wrote the song "Bees in the Camphor Laurel Trees," and I
That's where
just
you go.
made it up about the country music show. I've even got Olmara as a word in the song, and, you know, if you can put the real place in the song, it's powerful. Slim did it, you know, the plains of
Yeah.
Petinardi.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
places then refer to the people that live in those places, and they sort of want you to come back and sing it again. So it's a good thing to put place in a song that you've been to. Or
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Brings if people can imagine it and feel it, and especially if it's somewhere that they can be or have been, it gives meaning again
that's
to
it.
them as
Yeah,
well. I remember going to Slim's funeral, and I bussed back from Sydney down to Melbourne, and everywhere that the bus went, there were songs just flowing through your head because he put these places into songs, and it gives
yeah,
meaning to everywhere you go. It's a different way of traveling, I think. Brings people to a lot of places, actually. If they hear things in songs, it makes you want to go and visit that place. So he certainly had that power. Yeah.
Well, you've got my album there, and you've also probably heard the song Captain Moonlight. You know that song, Captain Moonlight?
I love this album.
Well, thanks, Kat. You're a legend. Captain Moonlight's an incredible story of a bush ranger, and I've really shortened it up. But Captain Moonlight was a bush ranger here in Australia who got hung for what he did, and they took him to Sydney and hung him. And his last dying wish was to be buried with his mates, and they dug up his bones from where they buried him and they reconsumed him and took him to Gundagai and buried him with his gang. So you and me couldn't get that done. We couldn't get that done. But so one of our bushrangers did, and he's got an incredible story. He was he didn't even need to be a bushranger, but he was. So the freedom for justice, how's that?
Exactly. And we're still alive today because they're in our songs. All these things, it's great, and that's what we can do with our music. We can keep all these things alive, which is so good. Well, we've only been talking for half an hour already, so I told you the time will go so quickly.
Well,
I keep saying, we'll do short shows this week so I don't lose my voice, and I knew that it wouldn't happen.
Well, you did good. You made it through it anyway. So, and look, it's been great talking. We do this anytime. It's not a big problem as long as I can get my phone working maybe next time. And,
that's all right.
Yeah.
No matter what phone, as long as it's working. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, everybody, if you want to buy the album, jump over and send Peter a message. Actually, your Facebook. What is your Facebook? It's
my Facebook is Peter Smokey Dawson.
Yeah, Peter Smokey Dawson.
Yeah, I spell Smokey with a K-I-E on the end of it, just to be different from old Smokey Dawson, because he named himself Smokey Dawson like I have, but I can't say he's related to me, and even if he was, I wouldn't want to steal his name. So I've been called Smokey since I was a little kid, so it's just sort of come naturally that I've taken it as well, but I've spelt it differently on purpose for old Smokey's purpose. So
yes, fair enough too. So if you want to jump over and send him a message, and if not, if you can't find it, let me know and I'll point you in the right direction.
You guys have a great night over there. It's got darker since we've been talking. So,
watching that as you behind, it was so you could see the sun setting. It was lovely.
No worries. You guys have the best afternoon.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again shortly. So guys, before we go, remember we'll be back Wednesday night, so we'll see you Wednesday night if you're free. Thank you again for joining.
You have the best night. Thanks for joining us, and thank you very much, Danny. We'll talk anytime.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.